If you're like me and you love caffeine, then let me warn you that consuming it every day can give you some serious problems. The fact is that a lot of people falsely believe that caffeine is not a drug, when in fact caffeine is just as addictive as many banned substances. That's why in today's video I'm going to show you how caffeine works on a molecular level and share with you the benefits and disadvantages of using caffeine so that you can make an informed decision for yourself. Are we all just a bunch of caffeines? If you enjoy my weekly consistent content focused on neurohealth, then make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that like button, and also make sure to watch this entire thing. Did you know caffeine is the world's most commonly used psychoactive substance? About 90% of adults consistently drink caffeine, so it was used so commonly by us all, it's probably a smart idea to understand more about how it works. Caffeine is a natural substance. It's found in nature, including coffee seeds and tea plants. Even though it tastes bitter, many animals consume it, including dogs, birds, and bees. At a molecular level, caffeine acts as an inhibitor to a neurotransmitter called adenosine. Caffeine attaches to adenosine receptors and blocks adenosine from activating. Research indicates that adenosine receptors are involved in promoting and regulating our sleep. Wow! Adenosine stimulates the release of a neurotransmitter called GABA, which helps us inhibit or calm down our neurons, making us feel more relaxed and sleepy. Therefore, caffeine blocks this action from occurring, making us feel more aroused and excited. Caffeine promotes the release of dopamine and norepinephrine, giving us pleasurable, motivating, and focused feelings. This acts as a powerful reinforcer and a positive feedback loop, making us to want to consume it again and again. One thing people fail to realize is that caffeine stays in our system for a very long time. Most drugs have a half-life, which is the amount of time it takes for half of that drug to leave our body. Caffeine has a half-life about 6 to 7 hours, meaning that it will take about that long to get half of the amount of caffeine that you consumed out of your body. It also has a quarter life of about 12 hours. What this means is that if you have a cup of coffee at noon, a quarter of that caffeine is still circulating in your brain at midnight. That brings me to an important tip. I would suggest that you stop consuming caffeine either early in the morning, say around 11 a.m., or very latest 1 to 2 p.m. That all depends on what time you go to bed, but it will allow for enough time to get the caffeine out of your system so it won't disrupt your all-important sleep cycles. Listen, if you would like a caffeine substitute, then you may like taking a cold shower from time to time. Cold showers produce similar neurochemical effects as a high dose of caffeine. I recently made a video and a deep dive on cold showers, so I'll leave a link in the description if you would like to learn more. Now I will speak about the benefits and disadvantages of using caffeine. First, here are 3 net positives. Number 1, caffeine can lower levels of depression and has a neuroprotective abilities. It increases levels of norepinephrine and acetylcholine, increasing alertness and our sense of focus. Also, when we regularly use caffeine, it stimulates dopamine receptors within our reward pathways of our brain, allowing for higher levels of motivation and pleasure, thus having an antidepressive effect. So in other words, it makes things that feel pretty good feel even better. Number 2, caffeine can boost both mental and physical performance levels. It improves our reaction time and speed as well as focus. So for athletes, this is huge because when it comes to sports, both physical and mental, reaction time is everything. Caffeine can also improve learning time and memory because of its release, and you guessed it, dopamine, neuroepinephrine, and acetylcholine. And number 3, caffeine can help you lose some weight. It increases metabolism levels and the speed of fat oxidation. And it also suppresses appetite, which helps you reduce your overall calorie intake levels. Now here are 3 net negatives of caffeine. Caffeine can cause dramatic withdrawal symptoms from overdependence. When we have been using it for a long time and we choose to stop, the withdrawal symptoms include headaches, grogginess, brain fogs, and even shakes. We get these symptoms because caffeine restricts blood flow to our arteries and brain by up to 27%. But when we stop cold turkey, blood vessels swell, so this rapid change of getting too little blood flow to too much leads to the symptoms I mentioned above. And number 2, caffeine can disrupt our sleep-wake cycle. As I mentioned before, caffeine blocks adenosine receptors, making it more difficult to sleep. But when we stop drinking it, it floods our brain with adenosine, making us all of a sudden feel very tired and groggy in the morning. I spoke about the long half-life and quarter life of caffeine, which is highly disruptive for how we sleep. And number 3, caffeine can increase our levels of anxiety. It acts like a stimulant on our nervous system. So if we have already high levels of stress, it can exacerbate that and lead to higher levels of anxiety and even panic. This is especially true if it is taken too much at a rapid pace. I'll leave you guys with that. Maybe in the future I can make a video about specific things like coffee if you're interested in that. I hope you learned something. Be safe and be good, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.